Gulu in Uganda's north. For the past 20 years, this area has seen one of Africa's most brutal wars. 1.6 million people live here on the border to the Sudan, on the run, in fear of terror of the Lord's Resistance Army, led by insurgency leader Joseph Kony. In the land of the Acholis, children grow up under the protection of the army. Because Kony has no support for his war against President Museveni, he has 6 to 12-year-old children abducted, drills them as soldiers, and forces them to conduct atrocities. Margaret was working with neighbours in the fields when they were surrounded by insurgents from the Lord's Resistance Army. The insurgents wanted us to tell them if there were government soldiers in the village. We said, yes, very close. Then they robbed us. Then the commander screamed, "You're free, run!" But they suddenly killed my friends in front of my eyes. I was made to sit down under a tree. Then they cut off my lips, nose, and ears with a knife. I kept begging them, "Please spare me. What have we done?" They didn't kill me because I was pregnant. They said that that brings bad luck. Olive, a therapist, takes care of Okello, James, and Opio. She tries to help the former officers to come to terms with their past in the LRA. The commanders planned an attack on the government army in the Sudan. We had to consecrate ourselves with this water as protection against the army's bullets. We were not allowed to go backwards, only forwards. Whoever fell back was shot. We suffered many casualties during this battle. The children in the reception centre for former child soldiers from World Vision paint their experiences on paper. They are only slowly recovering from their time with the insurgents. This is Opio's story, 7 years of living in the bush. He fled after he was forced to kill his best friend for attempting to escape.
They tie your hands like this when you're going to be killed. They tie your hands behind, and then they tell you to lie on your face, and then they begin hitting your head. Your best friend will be the one to hit your head, and until you die.
The armistice between the insurgents and the government has been stable since July 2006, but many refugees are afraid of returning to their villages and fields. In one of the most fertile countries in Africa, relief organizations still have to secure survival.
Mittlerweile ist es so, hat sich etwas verbessert, dass das Militär versucht.
In the meantime, things have improved somewhat. The fact is that the military endeavours to provide security in an area relatively close to the camp, so that a few people can actually work their fields and implement initial cultivation. However, they cannot return to their villages and plant the amounts required to lead a normal daily life.
Anzubauen, dass es für den täglichen Bedarf dann auch reicht.
The refugees are waiting for a peace treaty. They want to go home. They want their children back. 3,000 children are still with the LRA, but the world has forgotten them.